Welcome to Profile. I'm your host, Brianna Gustafson, and today I'm here with Executive Director of the Family Pantry of Cape Cod, Christine Menard. Christine, thank you so much for being here today with us.
My pleasure.
Today, we're going to talk about so many exciting new changes at the Family Pantry, but first, this is a new role for you, so tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I have a very long background in food. I worked for Stop and Shop for 20 plus years, then did a tour of duty over at Staples side of the world in merchandising, and then came back to the parent company of Stop and Shop for Royal Ahold. So food's been in my life for a very long time, worked my way up through Stop and Shop's ranks, and so I have a pretty broad knowledge of food and warehousing and strategic initiatives and all of that type of thing. So this was a pretty good fit for me.
And how has it been so far? The couple times I've been over to the Family Pantry, there's just this energy from the volunteers and everybody there to help Cape Cod, help the hungry. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, there's kind of a misconception about the Cape. People, they think of us as a resort area and all the wonderful things that go with that, but with the resort area is the seasonality of the workforce, and so we have a very large population that they can make a decent living in the summer, but then there's 9 months of the year that they really struggle to make ends meet. So the Family Pantry originally was what we would call an emergency pantry. So people where they might have lost their job or had an illness in the family, couldn't make ends meet, they would come to us. Now we're seeing 60% or better of our clients have one, if not two, working members in their household. So this is really a way that is allowing them to stay on Cape, not just in an emergency situation. So, you know, 365 days a year, we have a very robust client. And this time of the year, when hours are cut, we have even more clients come in, and on average, we've been bringing in about 100 new clients a month. So it's a need that I don't see going away, and one that we are honored to fill. And unfortunately, I don't see that this honor is going to end anytime quickly, anytime soon, I should say.
I'm so glad that the Cape has an organization as large as the Family Pantry to help put meals on the table, but not just meals. You've done toy drives, you're doing some events for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we are, not only are we a pantry, but we're also a resource for people. So our mission is to feed and clothe people in need. And with that comes information source, so for folks that may need programs like WIC or SNAP or oil assistance, we have trained volunteers that can help them through that process. We have an entire boutique that provides clothing. Every time they shop for food, they can shop for clothing. We just finished our Turkey Day, which was yesterday. We actually assembled 537 complete Thanksgiving dinners for our clients to come and pick up to enjoy the holidays. We are in the process of Toyland. Toyland, we assemble almost 1,100 gift packages for children across the Cape. So there is always something going on from a seasonal perspective, but also kind of our special initiatives. And then, of course, besides the main facility in Harwich, we have a satellite pantry at Four Seas. We have a brand new mobile pantry. So there's always something going on at the pantry.
Wow, so the new satellite pantry at Four Seas, that you used to have one and then you didn't for a little while and now it's relaunched, is that?
It was always there. Okay. What happened last year is the pantry is located in the basement of the gymnasium building. And last year they did construction in the gymnasium, so therefore no one was going there, so the footsteps were really down. This year, the pantry came back. We really sat down as a team, Sue Miller and her team, and a woman named Kelly Brox, who runs the pantry for us up there. We sat down and basically relaunched the pantry. We have Kelly, who works part-time, and then a student who works part-time, and then a number of volunteers that help. So last year, the numbers were down significantly. This year, the numbers are back up. There is a huge need on community campuses across the country, and that's no exception here on the Cape. In Barnstable County, The food insecurity, meaning folks that don't know where their next meal is coming from, is about 10%. Wow. But on a college campus, it can be as high as 20%. So the 4C's pantry is really an important part of our mission, and I am a huge fan of the college. If there is anything that tied into helping those in need is an education. If you want to break the cycle of poverty, access to a good education is critical, and that would be 4C's.
Absolutely. I myself am a 4C's graduate, and just seeing, you know, the non-traditional aged parents that go back to school to get a degree, they're also trying to work full-time and put food on the table. So I really appreciate you guys relaunching your food pantry there, because it's so important. I remember when I was there, a lot of students were pretty actively involved in volunteering, and that was actually one of the larger organizations on campus.
Yeah, and it's we like to think of it as a benefit of attending 4C's. So we don't really think of it as a food pantry, because most of the kids that and I say kids, it's most of the students that are going to 4C's will qualify. So just as having access to the gym is a benefit of attending the college, so is having access to the pantry. So we encourage anybody that is affiliated with the college. And that's also staff, faculty, and they have a small daycare there as well. Mm-hmm. Everyone is encouraged to take advantage of the pantry.
Yeah, that's excellent. And you also, so you mentioned that you just launched a mobile pantry. Can you tell us a little bit about that exciting new adventure?
This is wonderful. This was a labor of love by the former director, Mary Anderson. A couple years ago, the Simon Foundation came to her and said, if you had a wish, what would you do, and how can we help? And she said, I'd start a mobile pantry. So between the Simon Foundation and the Greater Boston Food Bank, they actually funded the purchase of the actual vehicle. And what we did is we worked with the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Boston. They have what's called an intellectual grant. They helped us write the business plan to launch a mobile pantry, which is incredibly well done. The Simon Foundation and Greater Boston Food Bank then helped us buy the truck, and then our team has sat down for the last 4 months and basically every week worked out the logistics, and then we rolled the first area in Chatham in September. And what we do is we partner with the Council on Aging. So the business plan identified that obviously the elderly can be a very fragile community. On the Cape, as you know, we don't have a lot of mass transit. So sometimes it's really hard for people that can drive a short distance but not a great distance to get to the pantry in the Harwich. So we come to them. They sign up through their outreach team, and then we bring their food to the Council on Aging and we distribute it to them there. And that's important because they give us a grocery list. We basically go shopping for them, we put their order together, and then we bring it to them. And that includes everything. It's the non-perishables, it's the perishables, it's the produce, the vegetables, the seafood, the meat, the cheese, the dairy. So they get just as much as they would get at our pantry, only we bring it to them.
That's amazing. And expanding like this, have you found that you need more donations in order to keep this going successfully? How is that going?
Yep, and we have been very fortunate. Cape Cod Healthcare is a great partner of ours. They actually just let me know that they are writing a grant for next year and that we were accepted into to help us fund the mobile. So what they have given us is going to get us through next year, awesome. Which is going to allow us to go to, we did the Chatham Council on Aging, we are at the Brewster Council on Aging. Next we will go to the Provincetown Council on Aging, and then we want to go to Eastham, and then we've already had Orleans reach out to us and Dennis reach out to us to provide this service. So this is a real need on Cape Cod, and we are really happy to provide.
Excellent. And on top of donations, with all this expansion, you must need more volunteers
to help. Yes, we do. Yes.
So walk me through a day or even a week at the Family Pantry as a volunteer.
Well, most volunteers work one shift a week, and that's about a 2.5-hour shift. And if you think of the jobs that we have, they're either client-facing or behind the scenes, so whatever you're most comfortable with. So we have a number of different jobs. We have food distribution, which you're right on the front line with clients. We have stocking in the back where we load the shelves. That's behind the scenes. We have need for people with really great computer skills that they help do client intake. We have people in the office that help us keep the world running. We have people in our boutique, our clothing boutique, that helps sort and keep the boutique loaded and fresh for our clients. We have an entire thrift shop, Second Glance thrift shop in Harwich, which we need a whole cadre of people there that can, again, work either on the sales floor or behind the scenes. And then the mobile pantry is on top of that, where we have a whole separate group of people that basically are dedicated to the mobile operations. So in any given week, there are 530 very dedicated volunteers that help us do all of that work. So, but with the mobile, we really need additional folks, and we would be happy to have anybody that was interested apply online, and we will get in touch with them.
Excellent. And you were just recognized for outstanding service to our community. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it take to earn such an honor?
Yep, it's called Service Enterprise. And when you are recognized as a Service Enterprise organization, it basically means you are best in class in utilizing a volunteer workforce, meaning you treat them well, you respect them, you're efficient, you're effective, and that they are built strategically into fulfilling your mission, which means they're the cornerstone of your operation. So in the Bush administration, probably a little before your time, but there was a thing called 1,000 Points of Light, and this is an offshoot of that. So it's very arduous. You go through many, many hours of training. They then come in and assess your operation. You have to have countless amounts of documentation to prove that you do what you say you are doing. They then do a final assessment of you, and if they agree with all that you've said, then it goes to DC, and then DC actually recognizes you as a service enterprise.
Wow.
So the Family Pantry was recognized in September, and our ops manager, Pat Brophy, our warehouse manager, Jim O'Bara, and our office manager, Lloyd Dayton, were very instrumental in pulling this all together. So we're very, very, very proud of that.
Awesome, and what an honor within your first year of being at the Family Pantry. It's amazing.
Yeah, and this is them. These are processes and procedures that have been put into place over 27 years of the organization, and it just shows that that is a very sound organization. And this is important because when funders are looking at you, they want to know that their resources are being spent well. And we're happy to say that 92 cents of every dollar that's donated to us is actually goes to our food program, and that is best of best in class. So we're very, very happy with this.
And the community is very, very lucky with such a solid, growing organization. Where can community members get involved?
Anywhere. We have so many opportunities. We have a website, thefamilypantry.com. There's a tab in the top of the landing page where you just click volunteers, and you can see, you'll submit an application, and then we have a great lady that is our volunteer coordinator. She reaches out to you. She brings you into the pantry. You'll do a quick tour, and at that point, that's where you learn about all the different opportunities that we have, and then she finds out what you want to do, and then she matches what we need with what a volunteer might want to be involved with. It's very fast, and we train everybody that comes in. The training is very easy. We are what you would call, we do everything on the buddy system. So if I'm a new volunteer, I would work with you, who's experienced, and in a very, very short window, I will be fully trained, and off we go. So the best way is usually to go through the website, and then obviously they can call us at any point if they have questions.
Excellent. While I was looking through your newsletter, I saw an alarming kind of goal. One of your goals is to provide one healthy meal a day, or one meal a day, to the residents of Cape Cod. That to me says that's just you need to pull in the community for that extra push for donations, where can community members donate? Can they drop off donations right at the Family Pantry?
Yes. All the donations come to the main building, which is on Queen Anne Road in Harwich. Whether it's food donations, as we say, it can be time, it can be talent, or it can be treasure. And by treasure, that's simply a cash donation. And people always ask me, would you rather I bring you food, or would you rather have the dollar? And my point is that I can buy more with the dollar than you can. With the partnership that we have with the Greater Boston Food Bank, we can buy food for 19 cents a pound. So we can be a little bit more efficient with that dollar. So everything comes to the main location in Harwich, and then the food is distributed there. That same food is also brought to the pantry at Four Cs. The clothes that are the really nice clothes go over to our second glance thrift shop. So everything comes to us, and then we disperse it.
Okay. If somebody wants to volunteer at the thrift shop, same thing, familypantry.com.
Yes.
And
yes.
they can choose the area they'd like to volunteer
Yes,
in.
and on the application you can indicate what you are interested in, and then the volunteer coordinator, her name is Linda Merriam, she'll give you a call, and then she puts all the pieces together and makes sure that you're scheduled and you know where you're going, and it's very easy, and you should be very comfortable, and it's not stressful.
So this time of year, there's so many toy drives and opportunities for donations for children and teenagers in need on the Cape. The Family Pantry is doing a toy drive this year, as they have in past years. Tell me a little bit about how that works and where people can donate.
Yeah, we have a number of locations, especially in Dennis and Harwich, where we have drop-off boxes. Most Harwich, the Cape Cod 5, TD Bank, Monahan Jewelers. There's a number of different locations. You can obviously drop them right off at the pantry as well. We do about 1,100 children in the Christmas season. We're always looking for, we get a lot of toys for the little guys. We don't always get something for the tweens, as I call them, because we have kids up to 15 years of age by Christmas, or excuse me, they have to be under 15 by Christmas. And we always ask if folks could, if they want to give a donation to the older kids, to make it a gift card to the Simon Mall, and that way they can choose their gift. But we are obviously very happy to have any and all toys, games, books, puzzles, clothes. We give it all out at Christmas time, so there's a number of places, but most importantly, you can just drop that straight off at the Family Pantry in Harwich.
Okay, and do you accept checks and cash for that as well?
You betcha.
All right, excellent.
Yes.
No child on Cape Cod left behind.
And I will say this year we had 2 donors. A new one came in this year that actually donated. We have a bike lottery. We can't give a bike to every child, but we have that. The second donor came in anonymously and provided resources so that we could double our bike program this year. So that was really exciting. So
it's always the best toy.
You betcha.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. Familypantry.com. Community members can get involved.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for watching Profile. I'm Brianna Gustafson.